This is the Off the Ball Podcast. Off the Ball. The Off the Ball Podcast with Michael Davies and Roger Bennett.
From the Embassy Road studios in the crap part of Soho, let's face it, very hot downtown New York. It's the Off the Ball Podcast. On the phone from Los Angeles, yours truly, Michael Davies. We've been told we've got 10 minutes, Rog. Welcome.
Dark weekend, Michael Davies.
We've only got 10 minutes. Producer Dave, who has Slovakian ancestors, in a very bad mood today after Slovakia's loss to the Netherlands.
And I'm in the studio with him, so I don't want to muck around with the guy.
He told us we've only got 10 minutes and no more. He's suddenly become... We never knew he was Slovakian for years. And now suddenly we know he's Slovakian. He's a lot more scary. We've only got 10 minutes to talk about the two close friends who we lost this weekend, tragically, a two-funeral weekend.
It is. It feels like two-funeral weekend.
Two-funeral weekend. It's like being old. Roger, you know more about that than I do. And and later on we got Seth Meyers.
Oh, great friend of the pod.
Weekend Update anchor, head writer of SNL.
Big Dutch fan. Big Dutch fan. Happy man today.
Very, very happy man today coming on the podcast. Where are we going to start, Roger? Are we starting... you know what? Let's start with the US, then let's go into England.
Let's do it in order. We went to that funeral was on Saturday.
Yeah, where were you watching? Where did you watch USA Ghana?
The US. I went and picked my dad up at the airport. Remember?
Yeah, who came in just to watch England? Didn't come in to see Baby Shane.
Baby naming. He didn't come for that. He came to watch the USA be battered. He came to watch the magic Ghanaian stretcher, which has magic medical properties. Those guys rolled around in agony, jumped on that stretcher, and then they were just sprinting back on. He liked that.
I don't think they were that bad.
That was a high point for me, though. The magical Ghanaian stretcher was the high point of the game.
Yeah,
it was brutal, Michael. Very different feeling to the England loss, which we'll get to in a minute. The England loss was, I mean, we've seen that one coming. That was like having a friend that drinks and drives a bit too much. You've told him a couple of times, you won't be told. The USA loss was like seeing someone cut down in their prime. You could have been a contender. I felt bereft. I felt devastated afterwards. I was shocked.
You know, I was very sad at the end of that game, but I was mainly sad because I saw it as a massive missed opportunity for the US.
Agreed.
Is that, you know, I would look at the US going into this game against Uruguay, and I would see the US going into the semi-finals. I really would. And that would be a team that no one would want to play in the semi-finals.
I agree. They felt to me as if they were just one clinical striker away from really making the big impact.
So that was what really... However, I thought in the first half of the game, I thought just Ghana raised to the level to a point that, you know, and had all that possession, and the US, for the first time in this tournament, looked, you know, weak is the wrong word, I'm looking for the right word.
Unspecial.
Yes, they did. They just looked a bit like middle of the pack for the first time.
That's funny, because when they went 1-0 down, I looked at my dad, and I was like, good. They've fallen right into our trap.
Yes, exactly. That's what the US want. That's what we want.
Why
they've gone and scored on us. Idiot.
Now, I rubbed my hands together. I was like, but I have to ask you, Michael Davis, because you're the master of motivation, mind games, all of that stuff. Why do they hate Bob Bradley so much that whenever he speaks to them within 5 minutes, they just lamp onto the pitch? And
lads, whatever you do, let's not give up an early goal. Right, Bob. Right, you are. No early goal. No, lads, listen to me. No early goal. No, right, Bob. We got you. There will be no early goal today.
I'll tell you another thing. The red phone on your desk is ringing, which must be, I'm guessing, our guest, and God knows I could only do with a dose of humour right now to take away the pain.
It's either my guest or it's Bob Iger. It's one of the two. That means, joining us now, back on the pod, the head writer of SNL, the host of anchor, I should say, of Weekend Update, the anchor of Weekend Update, the future host of the ESPYs on ESPN. It's our great friend and new to the world soccer fan, Seth Meyers.
How are you guys?
We kind of feel like we had two funerals this weekend.
I was saved by the Dutch today.
Yeah, this is going to be what it's like when we're old men. We're going to have two funeral weekends all the time.
That was really just double disappointment, certainly.
We lost two old friends.
Two old friends.
Yeah.
One of them, the English looked a little older of the two.
They did. Well, we knew they were going.
They've been dying for a long time.
They've been dying for a long time. We knew, but it's still painful when they go. Even when
it is still painful when they go. They've sort of been in and out of hospitals.
but although tragic, America, they died so young. Still so much life in those legs.
We didn't know, Seth, how fond we were of them until they left us. Now they're 6 feet under.
And now we're so fond of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it's just heartbreaking because it's such a long time until you get to see them again.
We've been speaking about that. Let's start talking about something positive. Let's talk about these fantastic Dutch players who I'm now actually boldly going out there and I'm picking them to beat Brazil. But,
I am glad to hear that. It was certainly it was pretty frightening watching Brazil against Chile here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm not so frightened, mainly because I didn't manage to watch that match because I'm too busy editing the $25,000 Pyramid pilot.
Excellent.
But because we do have to have priorities in life. But I didn't see that, so I'm less terrified about the Brazilians because I'm not as I'm not as informed. But I did think the Dutch looked very good. I mean, Arjen Robben, he does run a bit funny, Arjen Robben. I don't know if you've noticed that. His left arm kind of goes out a bit when he runs.
Yes, he does not look like a man who will have pace.
No, he doesn't. He's kind of bald and he runs with a gimpy left arm. And yet, he is, as Steve McManaman, which killed me, Steve McManaman said he's very direct. Very direct.
Yes.
And that's because McManaman was usually running backwards or towards the sideline or straight around the park in circles doing little...
I think, McManaman, who I actually think is doing a great job, is benefiting a lot from the fact that a lot of the American audience does not remember how he played for the English team.
Yeah, well, McManaman... By the way, I do think McManaman, along with Ian Dark, are two of the revelations of this broadcast. I think they're both done like an absolutely fantastic job. But McManaman, as laborious as he was on the ball, he still might have been quicker than the current generation of English players.
It's true.
but the Dutch looked very, very strong from the beginning. Arjen Robben's run, I don't know what the Slovakians were doing, giving him quite that much space to sort of run down.
Well, particularly because it looked like an instant replay of the move he had pulled against Cameroon a week earlier. It was literally the exact same move, except, he put it on the inside post rather than the far post. But to allow him the exact same space, pretty much the only highlight he had of the previous game.
It's the move he pulls in every single game. He always cuts down the right wing and then shifts over to his left. I'm sitting several thousand miles away on my couch and I can feel it coming. I did love, Michael, how you described him as a very bald man with a gimpy arm. Yeah, that's how you talk about me when I'm not in the room.
a little bit, Rog. But I haven't seen you run that much. But that running style with that left arm, that might actually distract. That might be just designed to distract the defenders, that little left arm. It's almost...
Maybe not distract them, but give them a false sense that they'll be easy to catch up with this guy.
Yeah.